So, I get to talk again. Not for long, don't worry. What do you think this was, a video game? There'll be a cutscene in about a minute. Because this series is insane and doesn't like to let you run around for too long without giving you a load of exposition or making you talk to a character or making you listen to a character or making a horse break your hand, you know. All that good stuff. So, you know, this is of course, in case you've forgotten in the gap, I guess, unless you're watching all of these after I've already done all of this, then there's no gap and you're just wondering what I'm on about. This is obviously the timeline series, and I picked that name. I thought about it for a very long time, and I made sure to implement it before there could be any misunderstandings. I did kill that snake for a reason, just trust me on this. There's some stuff I've learned. I've been trying to record this a couple of times. There's some stuff I've learned, so I'm going to show off some tricks, as they may be called. But after this.
Looks like death wasn't ready for you yet.
Boss.
That arm still hurt?
What are you doing here?
Go home. Go home. Gru and my sons are waiting up ahead. You don't have a prayer of finishing your mission. You're not even armed.
Boss.
I'm not your boss anymore. There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here. This isn't America. That should stir things up a bit. You'd better hurry. The border is 60 miles south of here. You ought to be able to run that far.
Why'd you defect?
I didn't. I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose. What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings? You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later, you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you can't defeat me either. You know me too well. Just look at that bandana. If you can't put the past behind you, you won't survive long. If we meet again, I'll kill you. Now, go home.
Thanks for that, boss. That was nice. Good seeing you. Love the horse.
This is Snake. Major Zero.
I read you, Snake.
I was ambushed by the boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell. It's up in flames.
That's not good. Enemy scouts are going to come looking for you.
Yeah, I know. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. That she'd double-cross us like this. But that's how it is, and if you don't accept it, you'll never be able to beat her.
That's not the problem. In terms of sheer technique, I'll never be able to beat her. I know that all too well.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy? We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough. Hurry to the factory where Adam is waiting. Scouts have probably already been sent out to investigate the explosion. You've lost your weapon, right? That means you've got no chance of winning in a battle situation. Whatever you do, don't let them see you.
Okay. I'll be careful. We get to play now. I get 2 screens of full stealth. Right. Because opening the inventory pauses time, I want to quickly explain. To the left, there would be 2 guards coming through. They'd spot that, and they'd call in a caution. But what I've learned is if you're fast enough and you run back, because this is actually the start of the game. This is where we sneaked through, or stealth-like. This is the area where the alligators and the crocodiles were, or whatever one they are. If you go to here, it despawns the guards that try and come and investigate. So you can then go back to this area and you don't have to deal with an 100-second caution that would be going on for a few screens, which is nice. It's useful information. So now we're back here and we're safe, I can actually do some sneaking. By the way, I hope you're all having a nice day. Backpack, weapons, we don't have a proper gun anymore and we can't get one for a while. This is all of our equipment. This is it, this is all we get. So I have 2 snakes, and those snakes are going to come in handy as long as I don't screw this up. Because you can use snakes as a distraction. You can throw them, and guards will hear the item pop, because the item makes a loud ding noise when you throw it, for some reason. I've never really worked out why. Oh, I hear it. Ow. Oh, hello. Also, be careful of snakes. They hurt. They also poison you. I am now poisoned. Right, let me equip Snake A. Poisonous snakes, you know, you're poisoned, you gotta give yourself... What do I need? Inject serum. Okay, serum. You can actually use poisonous items. Now, I'm not sure if the guard will eat this one, but if you destroy the food storage for a certain area, you can throw food at guards and they'll eat it. Like, they'll always be interested in it. You can use that to your advantage, because if a guard's hungry, he's just gonna eat on whatever kind of food he finds in the jungle. Which means you can kind of make guards eat poisonous food and die. It's good stuff. Right. The guard to my right is moving over there. The guard to my left, he's facing this way. If I leave the grass, he'll spot me, if I remember the vision right, because that's not... That colour there, that brown, isn't going to look good with my camo. I know. Clashing colours is what I have to worry about in this game. But this guy, I can... If I'm careful, I can use this guy to show off some of the CQC. So let me sneak up behind him. Okay, right. I'm going to drag him over here. Try and get myself in a bit of a safer spot. If you hold the punch button, the circle button, you can grab a guard and that will put them in a CQC hold. You can then press in the left thumbstick to interrogate them.
Meat tastes good, but rots soon.
Meat tastes good. This is the thing that this guy says when his life's in danger.
You lousy!
I know, I'm a bastard. Right. Now, I don't have a gun, so I can't really hold this guy up. You can double tap the circle button to throw him down. You can aim by holding R1 and pressing square, like you can use guard as a human shield. But I don't really have the means to do any of these effectively, so the PlayStation controller has slightly context-sensitive buttons. So if I press in on the circle button, which I'm currently holding to hold the guard, I stab him in the neck. Now you might think, oh, that's a neat little feature. You know, you press in, you stab him. That's quite cool. No, it's not, because that means if you're holding the circle button too tightly when you're interrogating a guard, you kill him. With no chance to stop it, Snake just stabs the guy in the neck. Which is not all that useful. Right, this colour brown's good for me. Okay. I know the colour brown back there was bad for me. It's a little tough to work out the camo for these areas. Let me... Food. I have fucking strategies, man. Look at this shit. Right, let me... That guard is going to investigate over there. I don't know where this guard is. But if I'm careful... Boom. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. So yeah, showing off a couple of features. The food thing's really useful. In Metal Gear Solid 2, you could throw magazines. In other games, you can throw magazines from guns, and those will make a noise and attract guards. In this game, you can just capture an animal and throw their meat. So if I throw that there...
Who was that?
Oh, hang on. Oh, is that going to work? Oh, tell me that works. Okay, well, I've wasted a bit of food, but I'm now a lot safer getting across this bridge because that guard's not looking at me. There is a guard around this corner. This is going far better than it did last time, but I am probably going to screw this up. Okay, when you drop off an area, you have to tap triangle to catch onto the bottom, and I always mess it up because I never tap it fast enough. Yeah, life medicine, raindrop. Raindrops. Nope, the only area where raindrop would be useful, you're not allowed to use any of your equipment. Okay, look at this. Look at this actual stealth. I'm impressed with myself. Let's see if I can screw this up. In fact, no, I'm going to try and interrogate another guy. I'm doing this properly. This is the best I've played in... Wow, I've never played this well. Man, that's embarrassing. No! Okay. I didn't think he'd do a little circle. You can actually, if you're fast enough, it's easier in the later games. If you're fast enough, you can run up behind a guy and slam him before the alert icon will pop up. That counts as an alert, by the way. A guy doesn't have to call in for it to count. Just the alert has to pop up on screen. So my full stealth run is completely ruined. It's all over. Also, this area is meant to be completely safe. At least it usually is completely safe, unless you enter here in an alert, and then guards spawn in for some reason. We're also going to get introduced to the other female character other than the boss and paramedic, which isn't, you know, not a huge amount of selection there, but there you go. It's, you know, the time setting, I don't know. But Eva is our character we're going to meet here. Little spoiler. I like Eva, but you have to get to like Eva. Also, I know this seems like a lot of faff to get an item, but we need this item. Trust me. Snake, climb up the box. There you go. See, now you can tell why I wanted the item. Cardboard box. Yeah, Eva requires some time to get used to liking her, and especially seeing as Metal Gear Solid 5 has just come out and Quiet exists, it's a little difficult to try and defend Eva off the bat. You'll get to like Eva and you'll kind of understand that she's more than what she first appears, which I know is such a cop-out, but I don't give a shit because Eva's great. Not at the level of the boss. The boss is honestly my favourite female character in all of video gaming, but still. I forgot to mention, in every single area there's one of these frogs. If you shoot all of the frogs in every single area, you get the stealth camo. And I mean every single area. That includes boss sections and a moment when you don't have control over when you move to the next area. Yeah, pop in here, have a little look around, no one's around. Check this. I am grabbing all the items here first as well, because we're not going to get a safe-ish chance for a little bit. And another cutscene, I know. I feel like ad breaks. That's what I am.
Snake, have you seen 007 From Russia with Love?
Nah, I don't like those movies. Real spies are nothing like James Bond. It's pure fantasy.
Snake, I don't think the Major's going to like you saying that.
And even though it's fiction, I can't help but comparing myself to Bond.
What exactly don't you like about James Bond? I mean, is it the fantastic gadgets? The cars? The guns?
Major,
Snake, wouldn't you like to have a gun shaped like a pen?
what good is a pen gonna do me in the jungle? I'd look like a fool.
Then what about a snake-shaped gun? You could make it look like you're grappling with a giant snake and then get a shot in on the enemy while they're distracted. Ha!
Okay, now you're being ridiculous.
We'll make you a snake-shaped gun that folds up and fits into an attaché case.
Will you give it a rest?
Oh, I get it. You're worried about how to handle the ladies, aren't you?
No.
I knew it. To tell you the truth, I don't like the idea of playing hanky-panky with enemy femme fatales either. But that's part of Bond's appeal. You could learn a thing or two from him. I mean, what about this Eva? What are you planning to do with her?
I don't even trust her yet.
No, that's not what I mean. You can't let yourself get involved. This is a game of spy versus spy. She's using you just as much as you're using her.
I realize that.
You've got to grab the initiative, and to do that, you have to get the upper hand in the relationship. That's what a spy is supposed to do.
Get the upper hand. I don't think I'm cut out for that mission.
Maybe if you change your codename to 00 Snake.
Teacher.
007 is the biggest thing to come out of England since the Mayflower. I wouldn't be surprised if they made 20 more of those movies.
Didn't you know? The Major is a huge James Bond fan. Don't get him worked up like this.
Worked up.
Maybe you don't realize this, but now that you've got him started talking about Bond, I'm going to have to listen to him lecture for a whole hour after he gets off the radio.
You have my sympathy.
It's too bad you can't enjoy such a great movie, though.
I guess I'm just one of those people who can't enjoy spy flicks.